Ladies and gentlemen of Gwinnett County and surrounding areas, I first want to say what an honor and privilege it is to be asked to speak on such an important day in our history. In my line of work, we take risks at times, but to many of the people sitting here today, it's part of doing their job day in and day out. Oftentimes, when they interact with their community, it's at times of sadness and hardship. Yet through the ups and downs, and in some cases, literal fire, the men and women who stepped up to the line do just what they swore they would. They stand for something more than just themselves, and often at great cost to themselves, as well as their families. Missed anniversaries, birthdays, holidays, and sometimes even the ultimate sacrifice comes with the job. Yet still, so many answer the call with a conviction embodied in their very heartbeat. They're not glamorous jobs, or ones that are often appreciated, but yet the ranks are filled with people of genuine character. In my line of work, when you go rogue and you run into a burning building, you either get a counseling statement or a medal. And sometimes, I think they want to give us both. The people I speak of today call that a normal shift. The kind of person that puts on a shield every day to stand between the innocents and those who would do them harm is one we should celebrate. Both these and so many others who put themselves and their families in between those who cannot fend for themselves and those who would do them harm. Not for glory, not for wealth, not for recognition, but because it's what's right. There's a saying, we go into the dark so that they can play in the light. And that's exactly what many of the people here and those out on the line right now do every moment of every day. As far back as the 5th century BC, men of Athens attended a military academy on the road to citizenship called the Ephebic College. I want to share the oath they took upon entrance because I think it echoes not only in word, but in expectation, the oath so many of us have taken when embarking on the mission of community above all else. I will never bring reproach upon my hallowed arms, nor will I desert the comrade at whose side I stand, but I will defend our altars and our hearths, single-handedly or supported by many. My native land I will not leave a diminished heritage, but greater and better than when I received it. I will obey whoever is in authority and submit to the established laws and all others that the people shall harmoniously enact. If anyone tries to overthrow the Constitution or disobeys it, I will not permit him, but will come to its defense single-handed or with the support of all. I will honor the religion of my fathers. Let the gods be my witness. Many centuries after that oath was first taken, we stand here, united in memory of an event some of the children in high school today were not even born for. 15 years ago on this day, our world changed, and in that same instant, our nation was forever transformed. Our perceived safety was erased, and we were at war. Men and women offered up their lives in smoke and rubble, giving of themselves to become salvation or comfort for others in need. Even today, our men and women of the red, white, blue, and green lines continue to do what they can where they can. I don't think of just those who lost their lives today, but the gift of recognition for many in our great nation. Our eyes were opened with tragedy, but given strength in the selfless acts of so many. They were willing to become all they could and more for those in a time of need. A tradition that started long before it was brought to our attention, and one that continues every second our nation stands. We are blessed to have such people among us And while we remember the shock and pain of that day, we should be thankful those who gave themselves were ever with us at all. We stand here today in honor and recognition of those who have stood for their communities above themselves, in peace and in troubled times. We stand for those who can no longer stand for themselves, ensuring that their names and their tales are never to be forgotten. We know that so long as they are remembered, they live on in the hearts of the people who come after. 15 years ago, we as a nation were put to the test. And 15 years ago, we put on our boots and we answered that call. It's a call that for some will never be silenced, regardless of the cost, because the reward is beyond comprehension. It's either that something that drives you from the center of your bones, or it doesn't. There's nothing that can compare to when you become the difference in someone's life. Very often, such people go without thanks, and if you did offer them thanks, they would brush it off. Such people of greatness are not driven by monetary rewards or social recognition, but instead by something they can neither describe nor ignore. I cannot eloquently express all the emotions I have for such a day. So much pain, yet so much love. So much loss, yet so much gained. So much tragedy, but yet so much bravery. We're not a nation that shies away from adversity or conflict, but instead, a nation that is forged in our resilience and tempered in such moments of pain. We stand stronger together through the flames because there's something inside us that can never be fully consumed. I know that so long as one of these patriots stands and draws breath, we do not stand alone. We stand as a community, a state, and a nation full of people willing to do what is needed when the call goes out. When we were attacked that day, it sent out a wave which swept through our nation, awakening an entire generation of patriots who sought out ways to help their community. Eyes around the world looked to our stars and stripes, only to see not a weakened nation, but instead a resolute and emboldened people filled with a renewed love for their fellow countrymen. When the smoke cleared and the dust had settled, it did so on a landscape filled with people not only proud to be Americans, but a people willing to put it all on the line for one another. When the darkness creeps closer, that is the nation that I think of, and that is the nation we stand for. Having lost friends over the years, I can offer sympathy to those who have suffered the same loss. But I would beg you to know in your heart that they are with you every time you step to the line. We can be sorry that they are gone, but always celebrate that such men and women have lived. So long as we remember their sacrifice, they live on through us. When the time comes and the question is asked of who shall we send, I am filled with reverence for the citizens who take the step forward and in deeds, not words, say, "Send me." Today and every day, I find myself grateful to be an American and favored to count so many such people among my neighbors, friends, teammates, and family. Thank you.